is internal quality assurance, second is external quality assurance, and the third is quality assurance agencies. For European Association for Quality Assurance in Higher Education, ENQA, the ESG are very important because ENQA membership is only open to quality assurance agencies that demonstrate their compliance with the ESG. So there are 10 standards which are set out in part 1 of the ESG published by the ENQA. These 10 standards are well known by the universities because these standards are the ones that the university prepare their internal self-evaluation reports. So they cover policy of quality assurance, design and approval of programs, student-centered learning, teaching and assessment, student admission, progression, recognition and certification, teaching staff, learning resources and student support, information management, public information, ongoing monitoring, and periodic review of programs, cyclical external quality assurance. So the 4 principles on which ESGs are based were mentioned yesterday by Professor Mitkas. So I would like to mention the ICAR. This is the register of agencies that provide regular external review of higher education institutions or study programs. These agencies are actually the ones registered in that database. So Bulgarian, Greek, and Finnish and Dutch evaluation and accreditation agencies are within the list of ECAR. The Slovak Universities Agency is in a process of registration. So in 2018, ECAR launched a new database, which is called DAY2. This is database for external quality assurance results on activities performed by ECAR's registered quality assurance agencies. So it was mentioned yesterday that cross-border cooperation is also very important for the quality assurance, and actually the ESGs are the basis for all the activities in terms of the cross-border quality assurance. So the main purpose of the standards and guidelines for quality assurance in the European higher education is to contribute to common cross-border understanding of ensuring the quality of education. Quality assurance, including cross-border quality assurance, is a powerful tool for the internationalization of the higher education. With the emergence of the European University Alliances, the issue of the internationalization of the quality assurance in Europe requires a new context. So, as we all realize, so we come to INVEST, and we all realize that INVEST is a very ambitious project, and among its results are 10 bachelor, 4 master, and 2 doctoral programs, joint programs to be developed. So all these programs need to be accredited. So over the past years, quality assurance agencies and stakeholders have been working together in order to develop approaches for quality assurance of joint programs, reflecting on their joint character. So this approach is the European approach for quality assurance of joint programs. It has been developed to ease external quality assurance of these programs and to define standards that are based on the agreed already tools of the European higher education area, like ESGs, like European Qualification Framework, and European system for transfer and accumulation of credits. So the European approach for quality assurance system is based on one single joint program accreditation that in principle should be recognized in all European higher education area countries involved. This approach should replace the separate national program accreditations in the joint program consortium countries. The European approach is based on European agreed standards and procedures, and I have mentioned them in the next slides. The standards include eligibility, learning outcomes, study programs, admission and recognition, learning, teaching and assessment, student support, resources, transparency, and documentation quality assurance. The procedures involve self-evaluation report, review panel, site visit, review report, formal outcomes and decisions, appeals, reporting, follow-up, and periodicity. The European approach has adopted by the European higher education area ministers in 2015 as a political commitment made in the Bologna process and not a legally binding agreement or treaty. It requires implementation at national level. So the map presented here shows in which countries the European approach of joint programs can be used by some or by all higher education institutions. Unfortunately, the European approach is not available to higher education institutions in Bulgaria, Greece, and Slovakia. Another tool I would like to mention is the European approach for comprehensive quality assurance of European universities, developed within UNEC project in the period of 2019-2021. It was implemented by quality assurance agencies, ministries, European universities and stakeholders, and the purpose of this approach is to contribute to the enhancement of the internal quality assurance of the European University alliances to support the fulfillment of national quality assurance requirements. So the procedure based on this approach involves preliminary meeting, information provided to the panel, composition of the evaluation panel, site visit, evaluation report. As you may see, the procedure is somehow simplified. So, having in mind all mentioned above, we could summarize that the accreditation of the joint programs developed within INVEST could be carried out based on European approach for quality assurance of joint programs, which is actually implemented in our methodology. Accreditation of such programs could be performed by already existing agencies listed in the ECAR, in the register. As I mentioned, INVEST is an ambitious project, and in our work program, we have set development of a plan for establishment of international quality assurance and agency in higher education. So the evaluation of the joint program could be done by any agency, but in our project we suggested structure, statute, functions of such an agency that could be specifically suitable for quality assurance alliances. So this is one of the challenges regarding the quality assurance in INVEST project. Another one is the development of quality assurance system, which objective is to develop and to maintain the quality within INVEST, not only as a project, but also as an university. This quality assurance system is in the process of development. We're almost at the end, but the final product will be presented at the end of the project. It contains several documents, including quality policy, quality assurance manual, quality INVEST quality policy, some templates and documents, quality goals and plans, and quality assurance guidelines. The engagement of students in the quality assurance process is very essential, so we have considered all these. And of course, the INVEST quality assurance system is elaborated in compliance with European standards and guidelines and the European framework for the comprehensive quality assurance of European universities. So I didn't prepare any specific conclusion for this topic. Finally, I just want to say that we all consider INVEST as a success story, and we all want this story to continue. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. Well, Mr. Murphy made his appearance today since this morning, so everything went, whatever was possible to go wrong, it did. Okay, anyway, we had a technical problem, so we couldn't hear Professor Passi, so we asked her to kindly repeat her speech. So she's ready to talk again. Please.
Hi, Nicholas. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Gabriella. Can you
Hello.
see us?
Yes. Can you see me also?
We can see you. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for repeating your speech. We had a technical problem. We apologize for that. These things happen. And, you know, I would like to formally introduce you, Professor Gabriella Passi, Vice Rector for Internationalization of the University of Milano Bicocca. She is one of our 3 new partners. So we got stronger, even stronger, by admitting such a renowned university. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nicholas. I repeat what I told you before, that it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. And I am very sorry not to be able to come, because initially I planned to do this. Then I had some institutional emergencies, but it's a pleasure. So I will be short. I will try to give you an idea of our university. University of Milano Bicocca is in its 25th anniversary. It was founded in 1998. And the keywords that are at the basis, we can say, of our strategies are inclusion, sustainability, and diversity. Our university is a generalist university which builds on an interdisciplinary approach. And we may say that we have been recognized as an excellent university in both education and research. Another keyword which is very important to us is well-being, and there are several actions that we are undertaking to ensure the well-being of the entire community, students, teachers, administrative colleagues, and so on. The university is working basically on 7 subject areas and with 14 departments. The subject areas you may see include the medicine and surgery, educational sciences, which is quite strong and which will play a role in the extended alliance that hopefully will be accepted. We have psychology, economics and statistical sciences, sociology, sciences and law. We have an overall number of 73 bachelor and master degrees, 46 postgraduate studies and specialization in medicine and psychology, and last but not least, 19 doctoral research programs, of which I will talk a little bit later. We have several international degrees programs, which are programs totally taught in English, and we have also double degree programs, which means that these programs makes the students able to obtain 2 degrees, one in our university and one in the partner university. It's important to outline that we planned new degree courses, which will be international, and 3 of them will be in collaboration with other university. I just mentioned the main topics, digital and green transition, arts in education, and sign language, just to give you an example of what we aim to open from an education point of view. Research is also very important in our university, research and innovation. We have 303 ongoing research projects. You can see here the figure of the overall fundings and the number of labs and research infrastructure. What I would like to outline is that recently, starting in 2023, we obtained an important recognition, which means that 8 out of the 14 departments in our university were recognized as excellent departments. So we obtain important fundings to do innovative research. You can see here the overall amount of fundings spread over all these 8 departments. Now an important slide, because Living Labs is a pioneering idea that Invest introduced, and I compliment to all of you because you have been really looking forward to introducing this concept. And I want to outline that also Bicocca has invested a lot in the concept of Living Lab. To the aim of building partnerships between different actors, which include students, industry, research centers, and community in the territory of Lombardy region, which is the region in which Milano is situated. So the idea is to connect academic activities, such as, for example, learning and teaching and research, to industry and technology transfer. In particular, the idea of Living Lab will play a central role in a very important and huge project, which is funded under the National Recovery and Resilience Plan by the European Union, which is Next Generation EU. This project is named, the acronym is MUSA, Multi-Layered Urban Sustainability Action. The impact will be regional on Lombardy region, and the idea is to define living labs in which there can be an exchange, a live exchange of skills and at different levels of impact. So, for example, we will address issues that are outlined here, like entrepreneurship and technology transfer, innovation for sustainable and inclusive society, big data, open data in life sciences, urban regeneration, city of tomorrow, sustainable fashion, luxury and design, because as you know, Milano is a little bit at the center of this topic, economic impact and sustainable finance. Then coming back to Invest, which is an important opportunity we have, and we are grateful to welcoming us in this consortium. UNIBIB, University of Milano Bicocca, commits to invest in the following direction: enhancing the sustainability and inclusiveness of our partner regions, to work together in a big synergy, to invest in the innovation of our education systems and research methods, and to invest in our human capital constituted by students who must become active citizens and future shaping professionals in Europe. In particular, in the proposal that has been submitted, UNIBIB will lead Work Package 5. And I must tell you that we are really enthusiastic to work with all of you to the idea of pioneering a very important and innovative, I believe, aspects of micro-credentials. So just to proceed with order, we will work on micro-credentials, double degree PhD programs, and lifelong learning. One key concept is the concept of micro-credentials. We have been working in our university on this concept since several years, and we have implemented a very good system. Implementing this within an alliance at the European level may ensure a big flexibility and the means to share education between the various universities involved in the alliance. So the idea is that micro-credentials, of course, are implementing a student-centered, flexible learning opportunities. This keyword flexibility is, of course, very important. And this can enrich and complement the educational offer and meet also, on the other side, the demand of the labor market. And this is important from both perspectives of reskilling and upskilling. Then we also aim to work strongly at the PhD doctoral programs, and we want to launch altogether invest co-tutorship and also double degree doctoral programs. And last but not least, to work at flexible and effective programs for lifelong learning at all levels. I just go a little bit into more detail, but not too much, because I don't want to take too much of your time. The idea of task 5.1, which is related to micro-credential, is to work to a common open-badge certification system. This is an ambitious, so challenging, and potentially high-impact objective. And the idea basically is to design a shared framework for implemented open badges, open digital certification within the INVEST Alliance. I don't want to comment more, but the basic idea is that one. Of course, this aims to be able, the INVEST partners, to recognize the awarded digital certificates as a means to support flexibility in education, portability, which is a very important concept, and transparency. Then we aim to work to PhD programs in order to make it possible for PhD students to work in different universities of the Alliance, and we will do this through two different means, co-tutorship and double degrees. In co-tutorship, a single student, based on an agreement between two universities, can spend periods for doing research into different institutions, while in double degree doctorate programs, an entire doctorate program is designed and shared by two universities. Last but not least, the idea of contributing in an important way to lifelong learning strategy will be addressed. The idea is to develop a comprehensive and coherent INVEST strategy, which is capable to offer opportunities to ensure continuity of learning at all levels. And the idea is also to have an impact on the regional ecosystems at the local level to provide attractive and relevant programs to different actors. So this is just a recap of the role that UNIMIB may play, concert, of course, with all other partners within the hopefully new alliance. I would like just to outline in relation to lifelong learning that we aim also to co-create learner-centered lifelong learning courses and trainings and flexible studies pathways. I just end my presentation in sharing what is our strategy for international opening and collaboration, which will be also applied to the fruitful collaboration we will have with all partners of the Invest Alliance. We wanted to share with all of you to motivate curious students, to motivate staff, to share beautiful experiences to grow from an educational point of view, and also to experience interesting path for technological transfer and for making learning experience an overall experience which encompasses the various levels of learning in the lives of people working in a university. So I thank you very much. I hope that you could hear me this time. Could you hear me? Thank you. I cannot hear the room. I am not able to hear Nicholas. Okay. Thank you. Now I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
We appreciate your effort, your extra effort. We're looking forward to work on these, ambitious and promising, aspects you talked to us about. And the voyage just begins, and we're looking forward to travel together.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicholas, and
if you have time.
I can remember.
Next renowned speaker is our dear friend, very respected friend. Is he's a principal member of another alliance, the Epicure Alliance. He is also a professor at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, Mr. Thrasivoulos Chatsos. I have to thank him because in the early days of our design of our virtual campus, we requested a meeting with him, and without second thoughts, he responded immediately, and he shared invaluable ideas and recommendations for our path to creating our own virtual campus. So we do thank him for his graciously collaboration. He's going to talk to us about the Epicure experience, and he is, as I said, one of the fundamental members of this alliance, this very important alliance. Thank you, Thrasivoulos. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here, and thanks for the introduction, Nikos. For me, it's a pleasure to be here with you, and it's not a 100% pleasure because I would like to be there in person in order to meet you and exchange more information. Also, I would like to apologize for not being here, our rector, but due to an urgent last-minute issue, I would like to deputize him. So let me share my screen. Okay. So I would, as Nico said, we are one of the first generation alliances, Epicure Alliance, that and I would like to present you today what we have done. Just a minute. What we have done and what has inspired us, as all you know, that the main idea from Emmanuel Macron started about September 2017. And at that time, all our universities have started in order to, let me present it like that because I don't know, I cannot change my slides. Okay. We have inspired and we have created our alliance that is composed by 9 higher education institutions from 7 different European countries. And you can see here the map of our alliance, that we have 2 partners from France, University of Strasbourg, which is the coordinator of our alliance, but also University of Upper Alsace, the University of Mulhouse. Also, we have 2 partners from Germany, Karlsruhe Technical Institute, and also University of Freiburg, the University of Amsterdam from the Netherlands, the AMU University from Poland, University of Southern Denmark, which is the last partner that we have added for the second phase, because now we are in the second phase of our projects. And also we have the University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences from Austria. And we are the 9th partner from Greece. And here you can see some numbers that were a rather big alliance with thousands of students, thousands of academics and faculty, hundreds of faculties and research groups. In Epicure, we have established a roadmap about how we can see our future and how we can be based on what we have done in the pilot phase. And there are 3 different phases. First of all, in the pilot phase, the establishment phase, in order to know each other, to pilot some solutions, some services like the digital solution that we have created, new types of mobilities that we have created, but also to organize services like the Hippocrates office, as we have created a common, let's say, secretariat of all the universities in order to monitor and create mobilities. And mainly, we have supported and we have targeted the pilot phase in a small number of thematic pilot areas. But now, in the second phase of the project, we would like to deepen our governance organization. Now in this, we are in the month 8 of the new phase, of the second phase, and we have created a new governance of our alliance with executive board, management board, administration board, etc., and other committees in order to create and discuss about common policies, common procedures. The main idea here is to scale up everything that we have done in more thematic areas and in more target groups. And of course, now, as I have told you, we are creating new boards like an educational board, like research board, or digitalization board. These are some examples. And in future, after 2025, we would like to see how we can sustain our long-term cooperation, and our vision is to create a federation of universities. And at that phase, we would like to engage almost all local university services in order to institutionalize somehow what we have done in the second phase. So some words about some achievements that we had in the pilot phase in this last 3 years. We have worked in 6 work packages, and we have created a rather big team in order to deliver the project. And I would say that the project has been delivered very successfully. We are waiting for the final review, and so I cannot say you more about that. But okay, we have some really good achievements that I would like to share with you. For example, we have developed pilot courses. We have signed a multilingualism agreement with emphasis on minor languages such as Greek, the Greek languages or the and the Scandinavian languages. But also we have signed a new mobility agreement, and this is our, let's say, legal basis in order to support the mobility of students, or staff or teachers. We have digitalized most of these services, and we have created the Hippocrates University Campus that we have presented in many workshops, and we're creating some synergies with other alliances. But also, we are delivering now the EPIC Research Project is the show of call. I think that all of you have also this top-up project concerning the researchers, and there we have some really good results till now. So you can see that we have, you can see here in the slide the evolution of the EPIC mobility. We have started with 472 mobilities financed by other Erasmus national and regional programs. But in almost 1 year, EPIC achieved to have more than 800 mobilities and 575 EPIC innovative formats in physical mobility, blended mobility, or totally virtual mobility. We had this COVID period at that time, so most of these mobilities were virtual. And we can see here that with these new mobility formats like learning pathways, European tracks, EPIC missions, etc., we have achieved this big number of mobilities in a very short time. Here you can see the evolution in the total number of EPIC student mobilities per partner universities. Here you can see that all of the universities are participating, and the trend is to have a higher number every next semester. And the participation of the universities is based mainly on the volume of the universities. You can see with the blue line that the University of Thessaly is as the main participation, because we are also the bigger university in the alliance. But also we have created a common course catalog, and this course catalog, this is online. You can see this. This is a very old screenshot of the course catalog. If you visit this page now, you can see different course catalog, because this is a live page with the current mobility offering that we have. In this mobility offering, we are gathering all these joint courses or shared courses that we are offering in the Alliance. And if you click on them, you can see the description of every course that is supporting the learning pathway or the short mobility program, etc. For example, here is a course that you can see the description of the course who is offering, meaning which university is offering this course, the level of the course, the ECTS, and details about the syllabus, etc. So you can see here that we have offered in the pilot phase more than 180 courses from all over all the universities that are participating in the Alliance. We have all this information that we can export from our digital campus, our digitalized infrastructure that we have created in EPIC. So we have all this information centralized, and we can export it really easily. And here you can see all this list of courses, and I can tell you more if you want later. Also, from our university, I would say that the participation was huge in these last years. You can see that we are offering university from almost all faculties in our university, and we have offered 28 courses from more than 40 professors. And here you can see a high-level overview of the architecture of our digitalized infrastructure. We call this Epicure Inter-University Campus. And there you can see that we have created not only a common learning management system, but also a centralized campus management system where we are supporting services for the candidates to apply for a course, and also if they will be accepted as an Epicure student, then they can monitor their studies, but also for the professors to grade the students, and the coordinator and the managers and the secretariat to monitor the mobilities and see the statistics and the analytics of our mobilities. Part of this campus management system is the public page of the course catalog, as I have presented you before. And here we are exporting all the current courses that we are offering, that we have in our database. Our LMS and our campus management system is supporting single sign-on, and the students can use their institutional account in order to have access in both systems and in order to participate in the mobilities from in a smooth way, and also to take their recognition. Here you can see, for example, the description of a course in the course catalog. And for example, the modern Greek language classes that you can see here, this is a learning pathway, always different courses that we are offering, just an example. And also you can see here how the student can use their local account in order to participate in our mobilities. Also, you can see the viewpoint of the registrars, the administrative staff, in order to see who students from what university would like to apply for a specific learning pathway, and also to see all the statistics, etc., if this application is completed or potential or active or non-active, etc. The professor's point of view in our platform, in order to see how many students, Epicure students, are participating in his or her course, and also to send a message to a specific student in order to inform it for something. And based on this, I would say that based on this digitalized infrastructure, we have understood that digitalization is one of the most important issues in an alliance. Otherwise, it's really difficult for every user, not only the students that would like to participate in the mobility, but also for the professors to have an overview about the students, and mainly for the coordinator and the managers to see the flow from one university to another, but also to see the analytics and the statistics of the mobilities and to report them. In parallel with the pilot phase, as I have told you before, we have created this Epicure Research Partnership. And this Epicure Research Partnership, this project will be finished this December. And we have tried to create new formats for the mobility of researchers. And in this project, we have created we have as a main target group the early career researchers in almost every aspect of every researcher, like research, innovation, learning and teaching, and interaction with society, but also the interconnection between these categories, these pillars. We have three main challenges that we would like to support. This is the sustainability, mobility, and public health challenges. And we have created workshops, we call them EpiCamps, but also small groups of researchers. We call them these epicradles, in order to give them some seed money in order to create bigger proposals. And we call these bigger proposals epiclusters, like small Marie Curie projects that we have seed money. It's about $500,000 in total, this seed money, in order to support groups of early career researchers from our alliance to work together. And these groups have started their work now. In order to support that, we have created from scratch a new, let's say, social network platform. We call this platform Epicommunity. Epicommunity is trying to fill the gap between platforms like LinkedIn or ResearchGate or Google Scholar, that there we are creating profiles of every early career researcher can create profiles, and profiles that can be described in these pillars that we have said before, like publications, meaning research, teaching, the courses, or projects, or connection with society and administrative positions. And here you can see just a screenshot of the dashboard of the user. The platform is really, it's a software system that you can use it as well. Every alliance can use it. Every researcher can use it in order to have a safe place for our researchers to participate there. And the platform is interoperable with the Europass profile. So someone that has a Europass profile can just share the profile and create automatically and absorb this profile in order to create from scratch a profile in the Epicommunity. The main goal of this Epic Research project is to, at the end, to have a common joint research agenda. In Epicur, we had done a lot of tasks and discussions and meetings there in order to have a common research agenda, and we have identified many challenges that our researchers can work together after a series of workshops. So, as I have told you before, based on these EPI challenges, based on the usage of the EPI community and workshops, then our early career researchers has created EPI clusters using the seed money. Now we have about 4 EPI clusters with more than 40 early career researchers that are working in specific research areas that they have proposed and they have been selected. Also, in this Epicur research project, we have another activity. We call this EpiConnect, which is the cooperation with other alliances. We are in contact with some alliances in order to identify ways that we can collaborate. And maybe if you would like, you can contact me, and also you can contact the coordinator in order to create a synergy in more research issues. But after that, we have our new project and phase 2, the Epicur Save It project, as we call this project. We have started the project in November 2022, and will run for 4 years. At that point, I would like to wish good luck for your proposals if you are a second generation alliance, because I think that the continuation of this initiative is really important in order to make this European Alliances initiative a reality and a sustainable solution for our universities, supporting the internationalization of our studies. So our vision, as I have told you in the introduction, is to create a federation of universities. And this federation of universities will support European learning and academic training experience to all of our members, and meaning students, professors, staff, and researchers. So in the Epicur mission, we have 6 main objectives. First of all, to deepen and widen the Epicure European learning experience. Secondly, to boost research and innovation beyond borders. The third is to advance the societal engagement. But in order to achieve that, we would like to have these horizontal, let's say, missions. First of all, to empower the digital transformation. Secondly, to resolve issues about the mobility, meaning processes, legal issues, etc., and recognition of courses and of grades and of degrees in order to achieve this boundless mobility, but also to develop inclusive and agile governance structure that we are working now. So here you can see some more information about these missions. First of all, about the deepening and the widening of the Epicure European learning experience, we would like to create flexible learning mobility formats and mobilities. We don't want to, let's say, be competitive with the traditional Erasmus mobility, but to fill the gap and to create more flexible ways for our students to attend an international course or a learning pathway or to or a lifelong learning course. Concerning the research, of course, we are working, as I have told you, in the Epicure Research Project, but also we would like to support how we can develop the competencies of our researchers and of our students in order to cooperate together and to create research projects together. Concerning the connection with society, we have specific tasks in our work plan in order to augment the dialogue between academia, economy, industry, and society. So we would like to offer mobilities or formats that we can support that in a joint manner. For the digital transformation, our main aim is to extend our digital infrastructure in order to be more interoperable with European standards and formats and infrastructure, but also in order to support in a very smooth way the mobilities and the services of our Federation of Universities. Concerning the boundless mobility, I would say that this is the most difficult mission because, as you may know, every alliance should achieve 50% mobility of the students. So our aim is at least every student to participate in at least one Epicure mobility by 2030. Concerning the governance, we are working very hard for that because it's really difficult to have joint services, joint processes, and common processes, because every university has the local legal frameworks and local processes. And now we are in the process to create the terms of reference for every governance body. So concerning the students and professors engagement, as I have presented before, we had very good participation of the students and the professors. We are proud that our university has offered most of these mobilities. And we can understand that the digital services supported this in order to become a reality. But we would like now to find ways about how we can engage students and professors, all the community. And one of the main ideas is to offer something that we call these equalizer courses in order to support the prospective students and the staff with the main competencies in order to participate in a European learning experience. And for that reason, we would like to support, using these equalizer courses, to support every year in the bachelor courses, offering them learning pathways that are co-curricular, but also to institutionalize and make curricular mobilities in our studies. But also we would like to offer in the other levels, in the level 7 and 8, we would like to offer some courses and internships, courses and like the entrepreneurial labs or skills training for our PhD students. So I would say that we are really happy being part of these 44 European University Alliances. We think as a university, our rector is supporting so much the Epicure project, the Epicure University Alliance, but also this initiative in general, because we believe that for every institution it's really important to participate in such type of initiatives in order to internationalize the courses, the mobilities, but also the know-how. And this is really important in a federation of universities to gather this know-how for the sake of the whole alliance. So I would like to thank you for this invitation. I don't know if you have any questions, and I'll be really happy to answer to them.
Thank you, Thrasivule. This is nothing short than an impressive path to success, to achieve the objectives that the European Commission has set via the European University Initiative. And we would like to congratulate you on these incredible achievements you have. And we know that you are, leading Alliance, and we closely, kind of watch your activities so we can learn. And definitely we look up to you, and we hope in the future there is some discussions has started about future collaboration between alliances. So have super alliances type of thing. Hopefully we'll set this alliance business in order in the next 4 years. We hope to go to the next phase, and then we can look further for such cooperations. We would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your time, and say hello to the dear rector of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and we hope to see you sometime soon. We appreciate your time and your help.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind words and also for the invitation.
Okay, we are ready to, we are waiting for the,
Να ξεκινήσει ο κύριος Αντωνίου.
Τι είπε?
Καλησπέρα.
Ναι, κύριε Αντωνίου. Μήπως μπορείτε να περιμένουμε την Επίτροπο να συνδεθεί στις 11 η ώρα και δεν έχει άλλο παράθυρο. Θα πήρε μια...
Κανένα πρόβλημα.
Όχι.
Όχι. Δεν έχει συνδεθεί ακόμα.
Okay.
Όχι ακόμη. Γι' αυτό
ωραία. Μπορείτε να αρχίσετε. We would like to welcome Professor Ilias Antoniou, who is the coordinator of another really important First Call Alliance, CIVIS, which from the University of Athens, and he is going to give us. He's the representative of Vice Rector Dimitrios Karadimas, who again, just like our coordinators, his flight was delayed. He was supposed to arrive from Brussels this morning, and he was delayed. So we appreciate that Professor Antoniou takes the time to give us some insights on the important project they have won on the European degree label. Thank you.
Yes, yes, I can share my screen. So, hello, thank you for the invitation. I'm not a professor, but I'm the institutional coordinator of CIVIS in Athens University. CIVIS is an alliance of 11 universities from all over the Europe. Two of them are coming, one from Switzerland and the other one from Glasgow, from UK. So, and also in the alliance, we have 6 associate members from African universities, which are close cooperating with us. I would like to cut the before starting my presentation, I would just to emphasize what Professor Tsiatsos said before. It's very important the participation of the Greek universities in European alliances, because we have the opportunity not just to increase our presence on international level, but to be part of the discussion that is formulate the landscape of the higher education in European Union. And this is very, very important because we are part of this discussion. We are part of these efforts to create the new face of the European education, the higher European education. And the Greek universities has a lot to benefit from this participation and also to contribute. So CIVIS Alliance applied last October following the label call of the European University, of the European Commission. And the project was approved. The title of the project is Screening, Mapping, Analyzing, Recommending, Transforming, and Transferring and Transforming higher international programs. Practically, is focusing on the effort that the European Commission is taking in order to give label an extra recognition to joint programs that exist in European level. So starting my presentation, I would like to present you an overview of the project, how we create the analysis by clustering and the core of experts who are working on this aspect, how we are afterwards select different international programs that we will test on the indicators that Commission gave us, and explore obstacles and in the design and the creation of the joint programs. So the call was launched last summer around this time, end of July, and we had a deadline by October. 6 projects who were having different alliances inside. One alliance usually was leading and the other were participating. So these are the 6 different projects following the pilot, a joint European degree label. These are the results after the call of the proposal. SMART was one of these, and CIVIS have the lead of this effort with the participation of other universities as well, other alliances as well. And we have a part of the 11 universities who are member of CIVIS, Utopia, Neurotech, UNITA, and the University of Casablanca, which is one of our associate partners from Africa who are participate in this effort. All the actors involved in the project will participate at different levels, either in the elaboration of the tools that will allow assign the quality criteria as experts, or in the analysis of the results outcome. But all will have the important role in the project. We count also as associate partners of this project 14 quality agencies and ministries of different European countries, also 4 NGOs as stakeholders, and 3 students network who are participating and get involved in the whole process in the different steps that we follow. The ministries and the quality agencies will be at a different stage, and the students will be relevant as the persons that as the students who are receiving, who might receive in the future a European degree label, degrees that will have the European label, and we want to see how this affects to them. The expected contribution from the project, the 6 different projects on joint European degree to future policy making are first, the co-creation of the label criteria and their application on joint degrees, the label design, how this will look as a physical diploma or as a digital tool, how to issue the label to the students, and the focus to the quality assurance, which means how to identify the bottleneck and provide solutions and identify good practices, but also to see the barriers that exist in each country and try to overcome all this. This is a slide coming from the presentation that the European Commission did during the launch of the project. The official kickoff of the Commission was at the end of March, and in this meeting also technical and management information was provided. But also it was explained that all pilot projects will be close monitoring and we will have regular follow-up meetings with the European Commission and the European Education and Cultural Agency. And we are having already a map on this meeting in the next 12 months, the next 10 months now. We have for CVs, for SMART, since we choose to work with all the 20 different indicators that was given by the European Commission, we have the cooperation with 3 policy officers of the Commission who are closely following the development of SMART. As mentioned, one of the objectives is to identify the legal barriers, to issue the label, and try to influence the national regulations. The co-creation process on the basis of case studies aims to try and make the accreditation procedures more flexible and more simple. Speaking from the side of the Greek universities, the new law that we have since July 2022 give us a lot of tools that can help in this effort, especially when the joint programs are developed under the frame of a European alliance. Demonstrating the added value of the joint educational degree also means to identify the benefits that joint degrees can have for the students and the employees. This is the reason why the European Commission has selected a series of criteria to design the label that will end up in a template and its subsequent guidelines, which will be followed by the future European programs that want to have this label. In the line with the call, the steps are clear. Agree on a common approach, will analyze the criteria, choose the appropriate indicators and test them, but also map the different regulations in each country. After collecting the result, a joint reflection will be carried out, and from there, we have to establish several recommendations. This process also involves promoting the exchange of good practices, and we will develop dissemination materials of the results and we will address them to different levels and forums. The aim of this pilot is to identify the obstacles to the implementation and develop joint degrees and to share transnational strategies to overcome these obstacles. It's very crucial, the cooperation of the quality agencies and the ministries in order to support this effort. As you can see here in this slide, on the left is the 11 mandatory quality criteria that was given to us by the European Commission. And on the right side of the slide is the 9 optional criteria. SMART choose to work with all these criteria and try to test them in various joint programs that we have. So the project is divided practically into phases. The first phase will focus we are already doing this in a joint program. Eurosud is an Erasmus Mundus joint master degree, which is coordinated by the Glasgow University with the participation of Marseille University, Athens University, and Autónoma de Madrid University. During the first 6 months, the project will be devoted to testing, validating, and the quality assurance of the Eurosud program. The second phase, after gathering and analyzing the data from Eurosud, once having built the tools for its criteria with a group of experts that I will explain to you afterwards, we will advise the Commission. And then we will select 50 different joint programs from the universities of civis, but also from the other universities, from other alliances that are participating in SMART. And we will exercise these tests, these indicators, and we will test this project towards to the criteria given by the European Commission. Since the project is very short, only 12 months, and the work that we have to do is very simple, we create 4 working packages in the project. The work package 1 and the work package 4 are transversal and will work through the whole period of the project, the management and the governance, and the communication and dissemination. The work package 2 is dedicated to Eurosud and the tests that we have to carry out there. And the third work package is dedicated to the test of the 50 other projects that we will select. Up to now, we have already submitted 2 of the deliverables who were supposed to be delivered by the end of May, which is the project guidelines. And also we have done the kickoff meeting. And now for the next, by the end of June, we have to deliver the communication dissemination plan and also some common presentation materials among the partners that which are engaged in SMART. In terms of work in process, we are working on the quality assurance plans, the data sets that will allow us to set the recommendation after the quantitative and qualitative analysis of Eurosud. The bodies that exist inside the project, it's on governance level. We have the management group, which is the 5 universities, UAM, the Madrid University, which are coordinating, NKUA, Bucharest University, and Sapienza, together with Glasgow University, who is leading the Eurosud project. This is the coordinating team. This is the management team who is working. And from the academic point, we have the Education Advisory Board, which is composed of 2 bodies. Bring their expertise when we have to design the tools for testing the criteria, analyzing the results, and providing guidelines and recommendations related to the proposed by the Commission label. The Education Advisory Council will define and provide this analysis and the results. And as you can see in this slide, is divided in 2 parts. One is the civis educational committee. It's an internal civis body which is consisting by the vice rector on academic affairs, plus with the support of the administrative side of this work, of the departments of the academic affairs in each university, which will work mainly to identify all the obstacles. Also, we have the Global Educational Committee, which are representatives from all the other European higher education who are members of SMART, also stakeholders and student unions, which can provide with experts in order to support the process. Our timeline in the next, in the remaining 10 months, because we are already going to the end of June, goes up to the end of March 2024, where we will present in a big event all the results in an open event with the Commission. Commission in the last meeting that we had a few days ago asked to see if we can reschedule the whole closing of the 6 project and create a final event in 23rd of April in Brussels, where all the different 6 projects will present the results. One important event is organized at the beginning of September for us, which will be an effort to present the midterm results coming from the analysis and the findings that we have from the Eurosud project. The methodology that we will follow is by sharing a common vision initially that will be the key to move in the same direction. This will be done by a core of expert group. The expert will decide on most appropriate tools and indicator for its criteria and its cluster, and will design surveys, questionnaires, and focus group. Once validated, especially in the case of the 50 selected program, each beneficiary will make sure that somebody from the university, an expert of each university who have this part of these 50 joint programs, will exercise the indicators and the surveys that we need in order to collect the different information. So the 20 indicators who are given by the Commission, we have grouped all these criteria, both the compulsory and the optional, into 4 main clusters, which have called the first one structural, which linked with the institutional cooperation when you are in the phase of designing a joint program. The second cluster we call functional, which linked with employability. The third, qualitative, which is related to the criteria that focus on students' learning and acquisition of competence and skills. And the fourth cluster, we call it European values, which is close link with the inclusiveness and the values and the ethics of European Union. The experts, we have the core of expert group, which is consisting by experts from the main 5 universities who are running and have the major responsibility of the project. This group is responsible to prepare the work and making the draft and start and monitor the 4 clusters. And then with the enlarged expert group, which are all the other universities, are analyzing and working on this on this effort. The working procedures, a set of operational processes have been implemented for each criteria. The experts are required to initially define the criteria, identify essential metrics, and determine the data sources that will supply the necessary information for measuring the criteria. Next, they need to enhance the indicators to ensure the efficiency and test them within Eurosud initially. Following a reflection stage, the experts will also assess how useful are all these indicators given by the European Commission. The expert currently is working on this part of Eurosud, and then from September, we will extend the proposed methodology to the remaining 50 projects that will be linked, which will be linked with the second phase of SMART. So from September, and based on this first start testing phase, experts will refine the instrument and tools, surveys, indicators, criteria descriptions, and so on, and prepare an extending testing phase for at least 50 joint multiply double degrees programs and micro programs who are delivering from the different universities engaged. Till now, from the side of CVs, we have done by the end of at the beginning of 2023 one first mapping, and this is more or less around 160 different joint multiply degrees that exist throughout CVs. More of them will be added after engage the universities who are also participate from the other alliances. Presenting you and trying to closing the presentation on steps we did in 8th of June, the meeting with the ministries and the quality agencies with the presence of the policy officer Jan Mael Bidot from the European Commission, and also Romita Juku, a professor from Bucharest University. And we examine and we discuss and analyzing the steps that we have to follow and the engagement of the ministries and the quality agencies in the whole process. It was very important because the policy officer from the European Commission present the main thought and the main targets that the European Commission, which practically is to collect all the findings and the recommendation from the universities who are actually the ones who are creating the joint programs, and work together with the governance and the quality agency in order to formulate a process that will make possible the label and also who will affect and give better opportunities to the universities to create joint degrees, because also this is a big part of our effort to identify and harmonize the opportunity and give better opportunities and less obstacles to the universities in order to create and join to the Europe to create joint degrees.
You wrap it up in about a minute.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it's finished. It's finished. This is the meeting that we had with the Minister and Quality Officers. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't took a lot of time.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your time and your presentation on another challenge that the European Commission has set forth, another very important issue, the European degree label. We're in a hurry kind of thing because Mrs. Dubier is waiting. So online, you can to listen to her. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
I don't know if Mrs. Dubier, yes.
Yeah, I'm here, yes. Good morning. It was a pleasure to listen to Ilias presenting the smart project.
You know, these technical things nowadays, you know. Well, our next speakers, ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy to introduce the Mrs. Vanessa Dubier-Santon, Head of Higher Education, Director General for Education, Youth, Sport and Culture from the European Commission. She graciously accepted our invitation amid her very heavy loaded schedule, and we appreciate that, and it is a really high impact contribution to our conference, and we would prefer to have her here, but her busy schedule, I guess, did not allow her to travel, but we hope in the future we'll have the possibility to you know, cooperate closer. Thank you very much. She will give us some very exciting insights of from the European Commission side. Thank you very much. Mrs. Dubier-Santon, please.
Thanks a lot. It's really a pleasure for me to be with all of you. Even if it's only online, my heart is really with you. You are really investing a lot of time, a lot of energy to build these European universities, and beyond that, the universities of the future. So we are really by your side to make it a success, to create these inter-university campuses, and we have seen how Invest has started developing it, looking at your web platform and all the activities that you have already put it forward together with new pedagogies, integrating new curriculum, the Living Lives, and this challenge-based approach embedded into your curriculum, existing programs, but also possibly new ones that you will develop, and also to remove the silos between education, research, and innovation. So we know that it requires a lot of energy, a lot of time of many academic staff in all your institutions. But it's definitely worth it, and it's this initiative is a top priority from all political leaders. So I want to really pass the message to you that all these efforts are really worth it, and that it's really an initiative on the long term that is really for us a real game changer, and a real game changer that will lead to many reforms at your institutions, but also at national and at a European level. We see that despite of 20 years of the Bologna process, there is still work to do at all these different levels to bring in more coherence between different higher education systems, so that we can, for example, following the great presentation from Ilias before, be able to deliver a joint European degree, for example. And there is no better symbolic value of a European identity than a joint European degree. But of course, to reach that stage, it requires that all your strategies at the level of your universities are aligned with the long-term strategy of your alliance, because it's really, really important that at all levels, all your different administrations and academics and researchers all work in this overarching strategy covering all your missions, all work together, because this is only by aligning all these strategies together and make sure that everybody work in the same direction, that really all your objectives with your alliance can penetrate, all the faculties and all the different departments, to make sure that in the end you can deliver such a beautiful European university. And as I said, we are aware that it requires a lot of work and a lot of effort. That is why we are doing our best to support you at different levels. First, with more funding. So we have set aside more than 1 billion euros with the Erasmus Plus program to support 60 European Universities Alliances by next year, involving 500 higher education institutions all across Europe. We are going to present the results of the 2023 Erasmus Plus call for the second wave of European universities. Results should become available early July, and I am wishful that Invest will be successful. And then, of course, we need, so this funding will bring 40 million euro for each alliance for the next 4 years. So you will be able to receive Erasmus Plus funding until 2029. But we also need to look beyond this. We are now reviewing all the European instruments, including Erasmus Plus, Horizon Europe, and many others. So it's the right time to take the lessons learned, what we have achieved, what more we want to achieve. And that is why we have set up working groups to discuss an investment pathway beyond 20, how we can simplify, how we can bring even more synergies between different funding streams to support your European universities, including Invest. So we had a second round of consultations these days, earlier this week, with coordinators of European universities, including Invest. We had a meeting with different higher education stakeholders, and next week we'll meet with the ministries. So, and we will continue these consultations until next year to put forward a proposal for the next European instrument. So that's really very important. We understand that all your universities apply to different funding streams at European level, but also at national level. So our objective is to see how we can have a more coherent level playing field for your European universities to facilitate your operation. Now, what is important as well is that we take action as well at policy level. As I said before, a lot more needs to be done. For example, when it comes to quality assurance and accreditation, if we want to see more joint activities and more joint programs, we need to really be able to facilitate this and for example, to have more agile and more future-proof, fit-for-purpose quality assurance and accreditation systems. That is why we are working together with the ministries, higher education stakeholders, European universities to put forward next year a proposal for a European framework for quality assurance and recognition system to try to simplify and bring more coherence between the different higher education systems. We already adopted council conditions last year. There is important provisions in that front to give more flexibility for universities in the context of transnational cooperation. For example, when it comes to setting up joint transnational programs to give more more leeway to agree on the CTS that you will award when it comes to multilingualism, when it comes to the proportion of digital learning that you wish to provide to, so that in the context of transnational cooperation, universities are able to be more creative and more innovative beyond the national constraints only. So to give more coherence when it comes to transnational cooperation. So we are taking stock next week with the ministries how far they have been able to really make progress based on these recommendations, to really accompany you and providing you with this environment that you need to be able to operate and to be innovative when developing these joint educational activities. Now, we are also working on top of it on a joint European degree, starting with a label, and I will not repeat what Ilias presented before with the SMART project, but as he explained, it's really a work in progress, really work hand in hand with these 10 pilot projects involving more than 90 higher education institutions across Europe and 17 ministries to see. It's really about experimenting what it takes, where the bottlenecks are at the institutional level, at national level, to really see working together where we need to unlock the bottlenecks so that we can make it a reality and go beyond the label. But also our objective is to really, on top of creating this strong European symbolic of a strong European identity, delivering degrees, joint European degrees for students, not only to show them what it means to be European and the strong added value, but also giving them a degree that will mean excellence to the employers, excellence in terms of the future-proof skills and competencies that they will acquire through these joint programs. And of course, it will make your institutions even more competitive and even more attractive on a worldwide scene. So we really need to cooperate all together to make it simpler to deliver such joint programs and joint degrees. We are also working, but of course, it's very important for you to understand that it's fully voluntary. We do not want to impose anything to anybody, but to make it easier for those of you who want to join to deliver such joint programs and joint degrees that will meet a set of European criteria that needs to be agreed at European level. Now, we are also working with a number of alliances on a joint legal status, always on a voluntary basis for those alliances that feel the need, and all types of alliances of higher education institutions, not only European universities, to bring together and to share together what they want to share, basically, be it staff resources, be it data resources, infrastructure resources, to give them a leeway to better operate together. So that is why some of them are testing some European instruments to see how far they are fit for purpose, or how we will need to adapt them to be more fit for that purpose. and if not, what kind of new instrument we will need to create at European level. And last but not least, because we are aware that it takes a lot of energy for all your staff engaged in this initiative, it's really important that all this work can be rewarded in their career development. And that is why we are also working towards an initiative to be presented next year for a European framework for attractive academic careers, valorizing all this work in terms of developing joint programs, mainstreaming and the sustainable development goals and into all the programs for all students to be really made aware, but even more than made aware, really become actors of change when it comes to facing climate change, ensuring, you know, sustainable developments in all different areas. This takes time, a lot of energy. The same when it comes to developing lifelong learning activities, including through micro-credentials. So all these need to be valorized. As much as we know you value so much research activities that are so much important, but all this work is as important. So that is why we aim at presenting a European framework next year to facilitate at European level, at national level, but also at your institutional level to make it possible. So that is in a nutshell all the work that we are doing at European level to really be by your side, to accompany you, to make this beautiful initiative become a reality.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dubier-Santon. Well, we understand with all these activities that the European Commission is developing. We would like to be, we are glad that we are part of this game changer, and we would like to continue on this journey and this dream with the next call. We had in our next proposal, we have addressed a lot of these issues that we pointed out today, such as micro-credentials and so on, and lifelong learning. With our new added partners, the 3 partners, we put our hearts and souls on and diligent work to write this second proposal, which we are looking forward to